Hello, everybody. How you doing? There's no everybody. There's nobody there. I'm here on my own. Come on. Let me just try these glasses while I'm waiting. I had forgotten how to do the live, so I can't see with them. There we go. We've still got nobody. I'm going to get nobody tonight. Now, there's 3 people. Good evening. Chuck your names down there if you've got anything, if you're going to stay about. Let's see who you are. I'm just going to get a cup of tea. I'll be back there sitting up here. Oh, I'm back. You're all right, I'm back. Oh, there's 8 of you now. Great. Hello, Addicted to Knives. Ron, how are you? I'm doing very well. I hope you... Yeah, it's a surprise. I'm going to try... I keep saying it, Ron, that I'm going to do more live videos. You know, I'm not a great one for live. And the things that put me off is I can never remember people's names. I have an atrocious memory. Due to my past life, I just have the most terrible memory. I'm not rude, but... and 3 people have already given thumbs up. How good are you, lot? But I'm going to try and do we just gentle, that's not probably the right word. Good evening, good afternoon, Guerrero. I don't know. I'm no good with names. I'm just rubbish as a reviewer. I'm just rubbish. Blade Bridge Limited, how are you? You've seen me on the screen and my big reading specs as well, but hey. JBO Bits and Bobs, good evening, how are you? Paul H, how are you doing? Now look, I'm just going to start. This is going to be more of a question and answer thing. If you've got any questions, you want to see any knives, I don't have all my collection here. I'm down the caravan. As you can see, this is not my video room. I'm going to do an unboxing of this big baby. It's just huge. It's the biggest knife I've ever bought. And I thought, if you're coming live, you're going to be the first to see it. 10 of you in now. I hope I've said good evening to you all. Mike Lawson, how you doing? It's nice to have you here with us. Paul H, really nice to see you here. So, if you've got a question, just ask the question. If I miss it, is it? Oh, here's one here. I have made. What are some reputable knife sellers in the UK? Knife sellers in the UK. Heine Haynes, Moonraker, that's the bigger companies that I would use. Blade Bridge Limited on Instagram, and Etsy. Go to Etsy and see them there. Is there a Cold Steel Espada XL in that box? No, it's even stupider than that. It's a very inexpensive, stupid knife. And I'd ordered it a while back, and it's taken a long while to get here in the post. But it was before, what's his face over there? Oh, his name's gone out of my head now. See, this is why I don't do lives. That's my grill knife, by the way. Ron, it'll not be when you see it. It's cheap and nasty. And it was, oh, what do you call them? What do you call them? Done the knives that, the stupid knives you buy, inexpensive knives you buy, and you keep doing it. Over and over again. Why do we do it? And I have just examples of my complete and utter madness here. Knife Chats with Tobias. It was an open tag I never get around to, because down the caravan, I don't bring all my crap ones down here. But this week, I managed to go up to the farm. There's a farm store selling all sorts of things for farming and all sorts. But every time I go in, I buy these knives. And it's a little lamb's foot with wood. Now, there's nothing fancy about it at all. Fit and finish is just all right. I could hit that with a hammer, actually, and it would make it a lot better. And I probably will do, because it's a great wee lamb's foot. Not a great back spring, but these cost £6. And that's what farmers want, a beater that they're going to take out to the fields, beat loss. So that's it. Christopher Harrison, how you doing? What is your absolute favourite knife to carry every day? Do you know, I can't answer that. Because I carry, at the minute, is all I can tell you, is what I've got in my pocket today. It's been in my pocket since I got it. It's the Jack Wolf knives. I am just loving this knife. I've already got scuffs and scores on it. Can you see? Look, there's all scores and scuff. I've used this for absolutely everything I have done. Just because I want this to be a user, and I want people to see that it is a user. And it's not just, it is a beautiful knife, but do you know something? I didn't have to pay for it. I'm very lucky I got this from Ben. So I'm going to use it and let people see what it's like if you use this knife. But I'm enjoying that. But it's slip joints now. It'll be all sorts of slip joints. I do carry locking knives down the caravan. I tend to throw one in my pocket down here when I'm out working about. And recently, it's much like my other video. It's that little Benchmade I've been using. I've got my 940 here, but I haven't really used that down here yet. So that's about it for locking knives a minute. Do you own a case peanut? Yes, I do. I own the small peanut, and I also own the little case matchstick, the what do you call it? See? You're coming on here with a muppet. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, I have next to it. I love little small knives, so I've got a real collection from most knives. Really, I mean, the smallest, I haven't even got it down here in my GEC. I have a lovely little number 25, which is about it's a little stubby, stocky knife, and it's a fabulous EDC knife, but it's only got about 2 inches of blade, if that. So I don't really need a big, like I say, I'm retired. I don't need a big knife, but I've really used this for everything. And as a cardboard cutter, forget it. It's absolutely brilliant. Hello, Desert Fox XX98. How are you doing? It's really nice to see you here. So just fire away the questions. I'll get a few of the questions out of the way, and then we'll do this stupid unboxing. So this is one of the knives that I buy. I love going into farm shops, farm stores, and buying whatever cheap knife they have there, because some of them are really, this is fantastic. Like, there's them gaps there, but honestly, if I hit that with a hammer, which I intend to do every now and then, that'll be absolutely perfect. Look at the rest of it. It's lovely. So I'll fix that, and it'll be a working knife. I also buy, do you have a favorite vintage knife to carry? A favorite, that's a good question. What would I carry if it was vintage? Vintage knife, that's a blooming good question. Well done. I'll tell you what I'm prone to at the minute is these older American little, this is a jackknife, but they're little, the case, Stockman, all the older ones, because the steel on them was so good, they take an absolutely wicked edge. And that's big enough for me all day. I mean, that will cut the boxes I need to cut up. I mean, I don't have to cut them up in the little things as if I'm doing a review. I just use them to open everything. But you have 2 blades or 3 blades, and it's a great, they're vintage knives, but they're in, listen to that snap. That snap is as good as the day it was got. Really is just a lovely, so I've been more of them that I would carry than anything else. Vintage. Oh, there's another lovely vintage knife, which I do carry, a little lamb's foot. And this is an old Arthur Wrighton one. Arthur Wright, but it's plastic scales, supposedly look like bone, but it doesn't. It's just black plastic, but it's really tidy. It's a lovely knife, and I love the way it's canted down the way. You'll find a lot of the older UK knives are canted down that way. And when you've got a lamb's foot or a sheep's foot, it's really good for getting down to do them draw cuts if you want to do them. So that would be the vintage knives. That I carry an awful lot of knives, but I don't carry them often. Do you know what I mean? I'll have them for a day, 2 days, then I move on to something else. And I'm always carrying a knife that I'm testing. The other knife that I was carrying today is sitting up at my table. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see it. It was the a GEC. Trying to think what number it is. Do you sit in pain with me? Because I'm in pain trying to remember. I can't remember bloody numbers. But it's sitting up there at my seat. I was using it today as well. But I took this out and photographed it down by the sea, which was lovely just to get out. honestly, this last couple of days I've managed to get out, which is the first time in 4 months. And then you had lockdown before that. So I've really been cooped up. Oh no, here it's here. I'm saying it's down at the dead. Look, here it's here. Carry this in a wee pouch. This is just a beautiful little knife. Look at that. Look at the colours on that. That's what I like about GEC. They're not afraid to do wild, wacky colours. Do you know what I mean? This is like the Joker knife. You'll see there you go. Can you see it? There we go. But this is just a beautiful little knife. Really nice. Have you looked at the concept bevy? Yes, I've seen it. No, I didn't buy it. The reason I didn't buy it is that probably it's not different enough. Because there's some knives, let me just show you. All these knives here, this is the Twisted Assisted Junzi. This is a fantastic little knife. This is in D2, probably the same as the bevy. Very similar to it, but it's got a fantastic deep carry pocket clip. Perfect little traditional. And then I also have my brother knives. This is a Twisted Assisted one, you can see by the skull. I have brother knives and I have this knife. And they're all that sort of, you can only have so many modern slip joints. And I suppose the fact that these are coming from a company, I tend to promote them by using them and talking about them because they're great knives and they've done the decency of sending me products. So I do like to use them and be sort of loyal to them. But I have got a whole range of different, here's another, you're talking about, there's a modern traditional. This I highly recommend to anybody when you can get them. They are absolutely fantastic. Nail nick on both sides, which is fantastic. But this is an M390. It's about 150. It's one of the Ace, and this is the Farley. That is a knife that you're not. Now it comes with a wire deep carry pocket clip, but I didn't get on with it. I like it. I just throw it in the pocket because it's my Carta. You can throw it in the pocket. I can get all 4 fingers when I sneak up on there. And that knife, M390, just for 150, super. The micarta on it is stunning. You can see it's taking on my filth signature now, as Pete would say. But that is one of the best buys of the year so far. I mean, I really do love this. So yeah, I've lots of knives, and like I still have things like, you know, I still have my old ZT 450. This is a brilliant little knife. This Tony metered on this for me, bought it and then had it anodized and sent over to me. How cool is that? A beautiful little knife. I can just get 4 fingers on that, but that's all you need is just. But that's a great knife, and it's got the most fantastic action. And this is probably I don't know, would it be 20-year-old? I don't know. The bevy is in 154 cm. Brilliant price, and I love 154 cm. I'll just give my last knife away with that in it. But yeah, I mean, the bevy looks a lovely knife. Material, absolutely. You'll not get better blade steel than 154 cm. I just love it. Easy to sharpen. Takes an absolute, if you want to put a mirror image on a knife, 154 cm is a brilliant one to do it. Sure, it's a mobile home. Can you tow it with your car usually? No. This is quite a large. It's more like it's a static. It stays here. It doesn't move. It's blocked up and then chained down. It just stays here all year round. We've had caravans in the past. I've had a motorhome in the past. Now they were old bangers, but they were great. It's this is what I don't know what to call them in America. I'm not too sure, but this is a static caravan. It's a 3-bedroom, toilet, separate kitchen, front room, dining space. And like, it's not a widely expensive one. When my mum passed away and I got my little inheritance, this cost me, I think, about 13,000, but that including getting decking put in the outside of it and the fees for a year. So it wasn't a huge amount of money, but it's double glazed. It's got gas heating, gas cooker. It's beautiful. For me, it's beautiful. It's not somewhere you're going to come and be all pretty and sit neat and tidy. I don't cover seats. We don't do none. The grandkids come down, wreck it, leave, we fix it. They come down again and wreck it. So it's just a fantastic we always loved camping and caravan when the kids were small, and even when they grew up, me and Sally went away in the motorhome nearly every weekend. We were away somewhere if I wasn't working, so that's what I've done. Shall I do this unboxing? Would you like to see this unboxing? This is me at my craziest. This definitely gets me into the competition for the stupidest knife that I could think of buying. It's not something I've ever bought, so you'll have never seen one of these on my channel. You probably will never see another one, although I can't say that now, because every time I buy something and say, I'm never going to do that again, within a week I've usually bought another one. But I was getting a bit jealous of all these channels out there who were showing off their big knives, especially Tobias. He has lots of big knives. And I decided I would... Oh, I didn't even know it was a Rough Rider. No, I didn't even know it was... Oh, sugar. Bloody hell, that's a weight. Right, hang on. Look at the size of that box. It's like a box of flowers you'd send somebody for their funeral. Right. Look at this. Hey, it's a Rough Rider. I didn't even know it was a Rough Rider. I bought this off... Where did I buy this off? I think I bought it off Etsy. Some bloke I don't really know, but I just bought it off him anyway. I probably paid more than what I should have, but it doesn't matter. It was that price that I think this cost me £35 I paid for it. My heavens above. Look what I've bought. It's like a fighting sword. It needs a bit of a clean up. I'll give it a bit of a polish up the brass on it. Lovely brass, full tang. So it's a knife I can batter about. Quite a nice, look, it's that basket weave on the leather sheath. And you know, it's a good thick, feels very sturdy. It's not a wobbly sheath. But I wanted a big knife, and I have a big knife. Look at the size of that. Hi, gosh, that feels so wieldy. I want to go out and hit something with it. I want to chop something. I don't know, can you see that now? Look at the size of that knife. That is, well, there we go. Look at that. It's really well done. £35 I paid for it. I'm sure that's probably what the fella paid new for it, and he got all his money back because Paddy had no idea. I didn't even know it was a Rough Rider. I didn't check. I just wanted a big knife so that I could get mine out in the channel. And for Tobias and all those other boys that have the big knives, I know. Yeah, good letter opener. Yeah, Desert, definitely. But yes, so do any of you get these big knives? And my goodness, that's down to a good edge. Look, there's what's happening. I'll talk myself into getting another one with a guard. But this is so comfortable. I didn't fancy the guard. I fancied something that I could get up close to, but it's actually quite... I wonder how sharp it is. I wonder how sharp it is. Let me see if I have any paper. What have I got? I've got this old... This is one of them padded bags, so it's not the best. It's actually really sharp. Look at that. Was gone through. Where do you see this? Here's just a sheet of paper. Anybody else got these in their collection? I mean, it's just for fun. You're not buying it because, you know, I don't belong to any of these reenactment societies. I just fancied having one. I've seen so many people with them. Excalibur. I like the big boy knives a lot. William just got a case boy today. I've seen that, but I haven't watched the video. It looks stunning. William's another one. He gets me all the time with these big knives. Let me just see. It's actually really sharp. It's very hard to get this cutting underneath the... That is a good sharp knife. It's as sharp as you'd ever need that knife for, because it's going to be, you know, obviously when there's a Roman sword fighter coming through the caravan park in the evenings, I'll be able to fend him off with my... What would that? I would call that something like a Roman swordsman. And it really is... It's probably an old English, but it's a beautiful shape. Lovely big clip on both sides, and the blade, the fella obviously hasn't used it for anything. The blade is in pristine condition. Look at that. What a lovely grind. Look, Rough Rider can do this. And like, I'm getting this for £35. It probably was the price he paid for it. But look at the fit and finish even on the handles. That is definitely full tang. That is not, because funny, Tobias was doing about the tangs that were bad in the history behind the handle. Oh, sorry, it's gone again. I don't know how to get there. This again, I'm learning, but I need to learn. I need to speak to somebody who can do this so that I can bring these comments back. I've no, every time I hit that, I wreck the video. So I'm not touched. Please keep asking your question. I will get back to you. But there you go. There's the big sheath, just plain on the back. And then on the front, you have the button sheath there. But that is really, really nicely made. I'm sure it's, where does it say it's made? Surgical steel. I think that says Pakistan, does it? Yeah, Pakistan. That would look good with your channel. It would look very good with my channel notched on it, wouldn't it? And I could sit on my magnet in the front. Very good idea. I'm going to find somebody who can do that. That's definitely it. So there you go. There's a big chopper. I'm going to take that out one day and go into a thicket and beat the living daylights out of a thicket of trees. Old rubbish trees, not a real tree. I own an Ontario SP10 Raider Bowie. I used it a lot, money well spent. Look, I was a bushcrafter. This would quite happily process any wood and take down a small tree. There's a good weight on it, and I would say that's a pound maybe. It's maybe more than a pound. In fact, probably more than a pound. But it is it's a good enough quality knife. And from Rough Rider, how, yeah, I know it's Chinese. I'm saying how, but we do know it's Chinese. I'm not stupid. It's but nice big box, nice knife. I've now got one, and I don't feel left out when that William Knife Life gets all his out. I just hope I don't have to buy any more to satisfy anybody else's quests. So what do you think? I want an honest answer now, because I know a lot of you think they're dear. What do you think of the new Jack Wolf knives? Do you like it? Not like it? Would you like to try it? Let me know what you think about it. I'm smitten, absolutely smitten. I love it. But I know an awful lot of you are not keen on it. And I'll tell you what, I'd used it quite a bit. Now, it wasn't blunt by any means. But the other night, I sharpened it with my Victorinox sharpener. I just give it I think I gave it 5 passes. Just, 5 passes, 5 on each side. And then I put it on my strop. And honest to goodness, it came back wicked. Completely just so easy to sharpen. M390, when it's done well, sharpens really well. But now, the thing is don't let it go blunt. Every night before I finish, I normally just give it a quick strop. And that just keeps it really fresh for the next day. The other thing it does is, if I've done tape or anything like I've done tonight, it just gets it off so that the edge is fresh. Any stroppers among you? Anybody like their stropping? No, it looks good. Paddy, would you buy a Jack Wolf if he didn't send it? Yes, I would. I would have bought one, probably, because that's all I could afford. That price bracket is above mine. I know 300's my limit, but it would take a special knife like my Hinderer. I paid for that. I would buy one at least, and probably one a year, if that makes sense. That's the honest truth. I don't have that kind of budget. I'm on a pension, just don't have it. So it doesn't worry me that I don't have it, because I've got enough good knives that I've managed to get over this last 5 years that I'm in no dire need for any knife in particular. But I think with the Jack Wolf I just like Ben. He's a real gentleman. I've spoke to him so many times now. I've been on chat shows on YouTube with him. He's just a real gent. He honestly is. And I just wish him every success. But I'd love to know what you think of the knife. Is it just the price that puts you off buying it? Or is it you don't like the style of the knife? That's what I'm sort of trying to get at. Because about another... Let's see, I strop material I used before the day and I put it away in the evening. It really does save sharpening, John. I absolutely agree with you. A little strop, and I very rarely have to get the stones out. And, if it's going a wee bit dull, this is it. Got to go. Trio Desert, thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate that. Pietro, stropping keeps it razor sharp. Yeah. You don't even have, if you do that, you very rarely have to sharpen your knife. And this little simple 10-pound Victorinox, if it's going a wee bit more than just off the thing, just stick it on this. 5 swipes either side, then strop it, brings it back. And that'll last for months. as long as you don't want, look, I don't have to slice grapes. That's not my lifestyle. Poet is another one that strops. I'm addicted to strops. I couldn't tell you how many strips. Ghost Malone, how are you doing? It's really nice to see you on here. Rhino, hello Paul, you said hello to each other. Yeah, please interact between each other too, because you're not going to get much sense out of me. Let's be honest. Yeah, I have strops everywhere in the house. I have different sizes. I just actually, look, I've just actually done one. Sally makes me wee jean pockets for all my strops. But this is the wee one where I put, look, I've just redone that. And I used the diamond strop. This is the 1 micron. And this is the a handmade American product. That's it there. I got it off, I think I got it on Amazon. And it's just 1 micron. I put it on there. So if I want to give something a really special sharpening, and there's very few knives that I do, but you know, the Jackwave knives is one that I wouldn't need to, because it's such thin behind the edge. It's a tiny wee edge. I don't need that glinting at all. I mean no harm. 300 to 370 shiny is not for me. And we don't know who the OEM is. Yeah, I agree with you. We don't know who the OEM is. But let me tell you, all the big companies, Riat, whatever you want to name, you can guarantee you they have a subsidiary plant out there that they're making budget knives. So you can't just say, oh, I'd take Riat, because I would guarantee that they have big companies that make knives for them, or they own the companies that do it. That's the way China works, and you can't fight against that. And the prices, the way steel and all went up and whatever, it's not right. It's expensive. But then what hobby? I can't think of a hobby you can go to that says the same price forever. Now, again, I'm not justifying it. Most of these knives are all out of my price bracket now. Most of the channels now, most of the big channels out there are all on these, you know, 400, 500 pound knives. Well, 350 and up. And that's beyond my limit. The most I'll pay for a knife would be a Chris Reeve. I love Chris Reeve's knives. I want the 31. I can't afford it, but I'll get it. You know, within the next year, I'll get it by hook or by crook. I'll get it again. I had one, but I had to let it go to buy stuff for the channel. And that's just the way it goes. Absolutely the way it goes. Rhino strops every night. Yeah, absolutely the best one. Last Ranger. Not me. You don't strop, Last Ranger. And it's lovely to see you, by the way. Really nice of you to join in. I appreciate it. Does that mean you don't strop? Last Ranger can't afford 300 knives. Look, I used to have about 300 knives, probably plus, but I would say 90% of them were garbage. Not garbage, but very cheap, because that's the way I started. I just collected all these. I had companies like Gearbest sent me knives. I had them all over the place. They've all gone in giveaways. There are people I know, they just disappear. And I cut back last year right back to basics so that I would have extra money to buy for the channel. I like a belt strap for my Thurs razor. Oh, right. Very good. Steaming Enderman. Hi, Paddy. Just popped in and say, very nice to see you. Buying a new A-Right lamb's foot at Moonraker knives. They're beautiful. And now that I know they're in Moonraker, I didn't check. I watched Slick Slicer's video on them, and I definitely want one of them. I don't have I do have an Arthur Wright lamb's foot, but it's one of the older ones, and I want to get the wood one. Let me tell you, if you never bought an Arthur Wright knife, they're basic knives, right? They have ones that are about £18. Absolutely fine, but they're working grade knives that farmers come in and buy. Much like this, but that's only £6. But this is an Arthur Edge bar, about a 7 pull on them. They're always a good pull. Look at that nail nick. Look at that wood. I don't even know what that wood is, but it is beautiful. This costs about 30, I think it was about 35 quid, somewhere around there. But look at that clip point. I just adore it. It is a beautiful working knife. Nice bulbous end. You can see how, you know, it's quite a fat knife. It fills your hand completely right up there, and you can work all day. I think this one is, I think it is stainless steel. This one, they do stainless steel, which is like a 420 8C type thing, and they do a C75 carbon steel. But then if you get one that Ashley, you can get Ashley, if you can get Ashley to make you one, get him to put O1 tool steel on it. You know, he'll not charge you that much more. It's just getting on his books, and I understand that too. Custom knife makers are, look, if they're not busy, they're not good. And if you think of it that way, it makes so much sense in my head. If they were just able to do you a knife, here you are, you can have it in a week, I would think, why? Why can I have it in a week? Some of your knives are definitely living here in the US. Some long time error comments in it. Paddy, are you going to get every Jack Wolf knives? Well, at the minute, it looks like I am. Ben has said that as things go on, I will be getting each one as they come out, and I'll review it, and I'm going to send it out to local reviewers here. Starting next week, this one, my own one here, this is going out to local viewers, and I want them to keep it a couple of days, but I want them to use it. I don't want it to sit in the package and say, oh, it's not my knife, I couldn't use it. I'm using it, so why shouldn't they? So I'll be doing that, and I'll be doing that each time I'll be sending the knives out. So these are not knives I'm going to gather up and sell. But Ben has been so generous in giving them out to a lot of us, and they're expensive knives to give out. So to me, I'm going to keep them. And I'm sorry, why wouldn't you? There's a couple of them that I don't particularly like, as in they're not my aesthetic. That's all. I'm going to be giving them away. I think there's three at the minute that I'm not over fussed on, and I'd rather do a giveaway for them and let my subs get them. So it's a good reason to stay subs, because over the next year there will be 3 that are going straight up unused out to the door to the subs, because that's only fair. I don't want them all. There's no point in me taking something just for the sake of having it. You should peel a potato. Do you know something? I just was out there tonight and I was having a steak, and it was so late I didn't have chips. I just had a couple of rolls with it, and I was going to cut a potato with my new knife, and I just didn't get around to it. Didn't have time. I eat the steak and a couple of rolls and come straight in here. My grandson was down last night, and he was supposed to stay for a couple of days. Changed his mind today. I had to drive him all the way up and back again. So that takes about an hour and 40 minutes up and back. Aside from the new aside from the new A, right, this is my new Ashley Harrison knife. You've got it. It's just, if you haven't seen this is absolutely stunning. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Look at that scale. That's wood. I just can't believe that they can do wood that good. That's just curly maple dyed. Isn't that just stunning? And the other side's exactly, see, every bit is stunning. Look at that Damascus blade. Now, this is made the way Damascus is supposed to be made, which is, sorry, I'm not reading this. I'm terribly bad for it. Gone again. But this is made with 1095 and 15 NC or something. It's the way that good Damascus is made. I can use this to cut and sharpen it. There's not a problem. See a quick strop. This is back. It's 1095 base, so there's no problem. And I will use this because it only cost me £80. Custom knife. That's the only one that's made at the moment. Custom knife, £80. It's absolutely fantastic. Half stop, beautiful. And so that's an Ashley Harrison. But I bought it off Instagram last week. You know, I've only had I've had 2 knives made by Ashley. In fact, I've only had 2 custom knives, and 15N 28C and 1095. Yeah, Dawn, I think that's it. I'm not a metallurgic. I'm allergic to metal, that's for sure. It cuts me enough. But I mean, if you go on Ashley's Instagram, follow him every now and then. He's making a batch of knives. If you see him making a batch of knives, get ready for the end of the week, or when he says he's hoping to finish them, because he sometimes has 1 or 2 left over, and he'll put them up for sale there. I have bought 3 straight off Instagram, and they come to my door, within a day. I don't have to wait. That's the way I love getting them. And I got this one last week. You can go back and check. I was the first person to get on and buy it. It was late afternoon. So that's a tip. And it's and do that with it. If you've got a lot of custom knife makers that you can find the names of. Hi everyone, the Shredder Knife Reviews. I've just joined your channel. I'm a bit late to the game. I'm so sorry. I have so many to watch, but I thoroughly enjoyed your video the other night. I think I commented all right. It's a beautiful channel. I want to see your big lad. I haven't seen him yet, so I'll get round to watching a video this week. So that's Shredder Knife Reviews. Please go and see them. It's a father and son combo. I believe Mum even joins in. Would that be right? But they're just, it's lovely. He is a really, and it's just fresh. It's lovely. It's excitement. It's fresh. I love it. Really do love it. Anita, how are you? Anita Veldman. Go and follow this woman. Follow her on Instagram because she is a whittler and she whittles some of the most amazing things. That woman is a genius. And I'm going to get her to send me some pictures of her things because I want to copy them. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but just the way things have gone, I haven't got, I don't have a minute to sit down. I'm thinking of going back to work. Yes, follow Anita Veldman. That's Veldman. Anita, Anita. So go and follow her. That's great. Yes, Anita Veldman. Now, any other questions? I'm going to make this last about an hour. So we're about we've got 35 minutes. So just about an hour will do. You'll be sick of me before then. Trust me. You'll be well sick of me before then. What else haven't I showed you recently? What else have I not showed you? You haven't seen that for a wee while. I just like throwing this out. Look at my little polar bear. I am now starting to look for knives with animals that are on the scale. This is the shield for this. It's a little polar bear that's cut out like any other shield and put in there. And tell me if you can see a gap. There is nothing, not the slightest bit of a gap. And this is in ebony wood. Just absolutely stunning. Michael Kev, good day. Most enjoyable. Mike in Florida. Mike, how are you doing? Really nice to see you. Again, I'll probably never get to know your names because I'm not the brightest, but it's lovely to have you coming by and feel free to ask any questions. Do you happen to have seen the Ottermesser Webermeister? They finally have them at Moonraker. No, but I'm going to go and have a look at that tonight. Moonraker, I'll have a go and look at. I like Ottermesser. Do I have any down here? No, not one. I have the one with the anchor on it, which is just a fantastic knife, but Webermesser. Yes, I'll have a look for that tonight. Sub Ghost. Oh, there we are. Good. Now, come on, give us a question. Give us something that's going to... Any question about anything. If you want to know about my lifestyle, ask about my lifestyle. Anything. I'll throw you one back. Do you remember my name? Who the hell are you? Next. It's the same pattern as a swayback. Only joking, last Ranger. It's the same swayback. All right. I'm going to have a look at that. I haven't seen it, but it's one that I would be interested in. It's the same pattern as a swayback Warncliffe Michael May made for you. Right. Okay. Yeah, I would get somebody else's, definitely. That's all I'm saying. I would definitely get one. I like that knife, but they've gone. They've gone. Not my favorite man. But we're not going to talk about that. This is not a rundown show. This is a happy show. Do you live in Ireland? I always assume so. Petro, yes, I live in Northern Ireland, which is the top right-hand corner as you're looking at the map of Ireland. It's a beautiful country from top to bottom, and I'm happy that I know and mix with people from all over Ireland. It's a wonderful place to live now. How would your 30 years younger self react to your knife collection? I wish I had started it then. As this is common knowledge, I'm not saying it. I'm about 33 years sober in June, God willing, a day at a time. So I got sober when I was 30, and I wish I had got that hobby. It took me a long while to find hobbies that I liked. Now, I tried to keep playing rugby at 30. Wasn't for me. I got battered. Then I went on to fly fishing, which I loved for years, up until about 6-7 years ago, and then I stopped that and got into knives. I am like most of us, I've had lots of different hobbies and maybe one or two or three going at the same time, and I get very impassioned in them, but none has left me as passionate as knives. Nothing. I still get the buzz today. I'm coming in here, been doing this for 5 years now, and I still get that buzz when I go into this room and the wee camera comes up. This petrifies me. That's why I don't do a whole lot of them, and I need to do more. That's the truth of working in refining. I like your recent comments on steels. My grandpa carried a carbon steel case. Yeah, steels. And do you see, if you learn how to sharpen, I mean, you'll hear it all the time, but it's just the truth. If you learn how to sharpen, you don't have to spend X amount of money on an M390 if you don't want to, or if you don't have, which is even more important. If you don't have, you can come right down, and carbon steels, you know, right up to S30V is an amazing, my favorite steel. If you want me to say what my favorite stainless steel is, S30V. I love it. You hear all this about chippy? I've not come across it. None of the S30V I've had has been chippy. So I can only say what I've got, and I have stacks of S30V. There you go. There's the Benjamin 945, the 940 S30V, one of the best knives. Well, it is one of the best knives in the world. I have this actually, the grind on this is done by me by hand, so it's not perfect, but I've convexed it. I was practicing with this knife, and I would have practiced my S30V sharpening on, because it was, you know, it's already been hacked a bit here. There was scratches all over it. So this is what I practiced the S30V, and I convexed this one, and it has made it a beautiful knife. Now, I done that. When did I do that? It must be 2 years ago I convexed this. I've never done anything but strop it since. Now, again, you have to realize I only cut cardboard and the things of everyday life. You know, I'm not into... But, so, learning how to sharpen is just the best thing to learn. And if you don't know how to sharpen, buy one of them for a tenner, sit at night and try to do it freehand. You do it with your turkey knife, you'll get that out and you'll do that. That's the same, but just go slower and try to keep the edge more consistent. And just try it on old knives that are not dull sharp. I'm talking that's something you just want to spice up a wee bit. Get one of them and try it, and then move on. Is that Thrifty Kniffy? How you doing? What about you, sir? You're more than welcome to the Paddy Nut House. Do you use stone sharpen? Yes, I was very lucky. I met Jeff Jewell. I don't know if anybody know him, but Jeff Jewell is a sharpener on YouTube. He has hundreds of videos, and Jeff sharpens with everything. And I got friendly with him in the beginning, and he helped me immensely. I would speak to him nearly every day, asking him, what stone do I use? What do I buy? And he actually sent me stones from America too. And you know the price of post. So, yeah, I love sharpening with stones too. I don't get the time to do it as much as I want to. Jeff, on the other hand, is on, and he uses all different types of stones and gives you a complete breakdown, if you wanted, why he chose a certain stone or not. So really good. Thrifty, do you know what I've got? I was given a big box of old sack knives. There were a box that was going to go to somebody else that was supposed to buy it, but they didn't. So my mate Dan over on Etsy, get over there. I'll put his name down below. It's Etsy and his Instagram. He sent me this box of knives. It's in my front room. Oh no, it's not. Here it is. I keep thinking everything's up the front room. So there's a big box, and this is all sack knives. So I'm going to have so much fun going through these. Really get into sack knives. For years, I just didn't like them. And again, if you go back to my channel, I didn't mind the wee small one, but I just thought they were useless, big, cumbersome things. I'm absolutely, completely taken away by how good they are and how much that I was wrong. And this inline screwdriver, it's amazing. It is stunning. I use it all the time. I don't go to my toolbox anymore. I go for one of these. This even has a wee torch on it. And it's a good torch for if you're under the sink. Paul is ready outside. Nice views. Hello, fellas. Hello, everyone. Mark likes those too. Yeah. Sack look, sack. I've never had a bad sack. I never hear anybody complaining about getting a bad sack. And when I looked it up, was it 42,000 knives a day they make? There's quality control at its utmost. Really likes those. Do I say like a lot? I do. I know it's an Irish thing. Yeah, we do say like an awful lot. And the other word that used to get the English boys when I was in the Navy was film. Instead of film, they call it film. We call it film. So The Irish language is the best. It's the best spoken English in the world. A proven scientific fact. There you go. Prove me wrong, because I'm not. Now, they're very affordable sacks in the secondary market. Faulty factory. Well, I've got a loads there, and I just fancy having a wee tinker. I've never taken the pin out of a traditional knife, but an old sack, I think I would have a go at it. Do you know what I mean? Because if I wreck it, so what? The blades will go to somebody else who'll want them. So I'll probably have a wee go at doing that. I've got all the wee things now for doing it. I've wee anvils. These wee anvils are super. But I've also got a bigger one up in the house, and a vice now up on the table. I must do a workshop table. I've got lovely tools now up there that I can do most things to fit my knife. I have family in Ireland. My last name is Cragen. There you go now, sir. Justin. Oh, there's my mate. Justin's he is another one. He has set me on the road. There's Justin. There's, oh God, got so many. I can't get their flaming names. I give in. Yes, there's a few people have got me onto these sacks, and I'm absolutely loving them. But here's what I'm having to do with them. I had Justin around the house the other night, and I got him to help name. This is a Ranger. But I got him to name all the sacks that I'd bought, and I put stickers on them so that I know what they are now when I'm doing reviews. And Justin kindly gifted me this. There's no review up yet, but there will be one very shortly. Look at the size of that big beastie. Isn't that a great big knife? So he gifted me that. It's a locking knife too. So it's not legal, but it's legal for around my house. That's it. Right. Absolutely beautiful big knife. So the review's coming very shortly of that. I have a review of that one coming. That's definitely a tinker. No idea. No idea. And that one's definitely oh, I know what that one is, because it's got the screwdriver and magnifying glass. Let me see. I can't think what it is. Can't think what it is. Go on now. Yeah. There we go. 111 outright I have for some gardening. My fiance heard your voice. LOL. Morgan says hi. Morgan, how are you doing? It's really nice to see you. I don't know, you're wasted with that man. There's a lovely Irishman up the top here in North. Come up and see me. Just don't tell the wife you're coming. Now, what else? Any other questions you want to ask? Because I don't want to keep you here and bore you. I don't want to keep you here and bore you. What else have I got that I can talk about? There's another. This is a beautiful. This is a 74mm. Didn't even know they'd done these up until a couple of weeks ago. What a beautiful little carry this is, rather than a small, the small 58mm. Love this. Review coming up on this. And I think RJ, the Thrifty Knifty, did you do one today on this, or was it RJ? He done one on something very similar, so I'll do that review. Here's another couple of makers that I get knives from. These are UK makers, and they're worth having definitely worth having a go at looking at them. These are two knives that, this is from, this one is Stephen Cocker. That's the lovely one in the green wood that's been, he does all that himself, the jigging himself, and dyes the wood. Absolutely beautiful. Really gorgeous little Barlow. Beautifully finished. And then this one is from, what's his name? I've forgotten his flipping name now. Oh, I am so bad. Anyway, I'll put his name up down below in the description. It's another UK maker. They're on Instagram. Both are on Instagram. Go and follow them. This is beautiful. My Carta G10. Absolutely stunning clip points. Really nice and lovely finished back springs. I just really recommend these two. And these are under £100. So go figure. Go figure. You just, you're getting proper Barlows that are useful, but also really good looking, in my opinion. Later, got to go pick up daughter from school. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming along. I really do. I hope we can get you into slip joints even more. Now, I think that's all I've really got to say tonight. I haven't much more, and I don't want to keep people here. I'm sure some of you haven't had your tea or your lunch or your breakfast even. look, I'm going to head on. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is the first. I'm going to try once a week at least to do a live video where we just catch up, and I'll get better at reading this stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm not good at it. I find that when I'm talking, I either close my eyes or I stop watching. I just forget to look. Later, I need almost bedtime in the Netherlands. It's almost bedtime here for me. Christopher, it's a pleasure. Justin, thank you so much. And I'll see you all next week, probably for another wee live. Thank you so much for coming along. Take care. Paddy's gone. Cup of tea time. How do I stop the blooming thing? That's the next thing. Do you want to stop streaming? Yes.